How are we doing tonight? Welcome to Monday, the last Monday of 2020. Hey, Adele and Dazzle, how are you? Great to have you here on the last Monday of 2020. Jennifer, hello. How are things from the flower pantry? Good to have you here tonight. Great to have everybody here. What are you all grateful for on this last Monday of 2020? 3 days to go. Three days to go. Tell me about your Monday. Monday, la la, la 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 la. Hey, Krita, great to have you here. Welcome. I hope all is well in Texas. The flower pantry is stocked. I want the cookies to be flowing and baked goods to be flowing. The Pats are playing Buffalo tonight. We will probably screw that up the way we've been playing this season. But the Patriots are playing tonight. So, but it is great to have you all with us. How was your Monday? We had a good start to the week. A lot of good incoming today. Some nice incoming today. Relieved ourselves of a problem employee today. It was, steady day. And, okay for sales too. So not too shabby for the last Monday of 2020. And week 41, 42, depending on which way you're counting. You guys are doing it. Crazy, weird things happening. It is basically a full moon out there too, Krita. So it is like a full. It is full moonish out there. Yesterday was slow for us, Kitty. So I'm glad. I'm sorry that sales were slow for you today, but tomorrow is another day. We're gonna keep on winding our way out. People are feeling good with the bill signed by the president, and we'll go into more detail on that tonight a little bit. We'll take a little bit of a dive into a couple of segments of it that we need to talk about tonight. But it is a time for crazy stuff out there. I noticed the moon was basically close to full there, Krita, so I do get that. But I'm glad you had good sales today. That is a good thing. Hey, Barb, great to have you with us. Great to have you here. I'm glad everybody's here tonight. You do know how to have a good time, Kitty. Year-end inventory. Fun stuff. But it's a good project for a slow day. So it's a good to get a jump on it and get that going. So that was smart. Good way to use the day. We are really doing. We're so excited. Hey, Marianne is here live. We have started processing spring and summer items. So, we start taking it December 1st, and my team is now processing those items with where they are in their backlog. So we're really excited about that. That was another great thing that happened today. Hey, Vina, glad to have you here. Deep cleaning. Well, hopefully nothing other than just regular need stimulated that deep cleaning, Vina. But it does come into our lives every once in a while right now. So that is something that is real. That is real, even in a beautiful new store like you have, even in a store that is not even a year old. Yeah, and what's more, Kitty, is I bet you started selling it already. We started rolling spring racks out this weekend from backstock and from things that we had predated. And okay, good. That makes me feel good. That it's just to clean out for the new year. That's great, Vina. But I bet you that spring is selling. We're excited about it. So we are excited about it. So that is a good thing, and I am going to work in a video, a daytime video in the new year for you guys, taking you on a tour of our distribution center, so you can see the processing in action. Because I really got to do it in the daytime when everything is happening, because that'll get you the biggest effect of what we do and how we do it. But we had a lot going on. They were really excited about it today. So this is really great. We have made such progress on our processes this year. It's really what a difference a year can make. What a difference a year can make. Well, let's get tonight started because there's a lot to talk about. And let's get to the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Tonight we are on page 54. Oh, Rose was the IT department. Yeah, computers, when they die like that, is no fun. There's never a good time for it, Rose. But I have some good news for you. So on that. So give me a minute, and I'll give you something good in that. May take me a minute, but I will find. I always find the good, and I've got something good for you. Our Good Morning tonight is on page 54 if you're following along in the Good Morning, Good Night book. Good morning. Sometimes staying under the covers seems like the best option. I feel you, but come on, let's go see what's out there. Let's go see what's out there. Well, Rose, let me see. My good news is on a second PPP, which was signed into law last night, you can deduct the computer expenses from that. So you can use your second PPP towards computer expenses, including cloud computing, software services and fees, and such are part of that. Hey, Anne, great to have you here live. Welcome. Thrilled to have you here tonight. So let's talk about things for a little bit here. Obviously, the bill that was signed last night by the president is a good thing. I'm still expecting fast action because, hey, Julie Jankowitz, great to have you here tonight. I'm expecting, like updating to Liberty 5, Marianne. Yes, that Neil's been telling you to do. And if you like Liberty 5, Liberty 5.1 is going to be even better. Even better. But yes, you can cover that cost with your second PPP. That is a new acceptable expense category as part of the CARES Act, as part of the Coronavirus Relief Act. So that is an acceptable expense. So that is a good thing. That is a very good thing for many of us. Just having more categories that you can spend the PPP on is good. The fact of Streamline forgiveness is going to be the biggest thing. That's going to make so many of your lives easier on loans $150,000 or less. But So the big question I've been getting on that is, when is all this going to be available? You know, I told you last week, 10 days or so. A lot of this is going to happen fast because the departments in government, the SBA, Treasury, were getting things ready behind the scenes because it was never expected there to be an issue with the president signing it. So there was never an expectation that we would have a delay in signing. So most of the government continued to work off the assumption that it would be Christmas, etc. So they've been working on these things. So I expect updates really no later than Monday or so, maybe Tuesday, a week from today, tomorrow, from Treasury and the SBA that the window is open, although the banks are really pushing. They would love the window to open still in this year, because there's some banks that would like to push through some forgiveness applications, although I don't expect them to get the approvals on them from the SBA by the end of the year, even if it opened tomorrow. But you know, a lot of banks are trying to, and then there's other banks that want the new PPPs on their books, you know, as additional revenue, as additional business booked in 2020. So there's a combination of pressure on all these government agencies to get this done, besides the fact that businesses just need the support, and the economy needs that. So it's going to happen fairly quick. I think you're going to see this all come together. What do you need to do to prepare? For forgiveness, you don't have to do much, okay? Because the new application, when it comes out, is going to be very straightforward. I'm going to walk you right through it. We're going to walk through it one night. As soon as it's available, we'll walk right through it, and it will be very easy, and most of the banks will have an online version for it. You are still required, okay, as any good business should, to keep the records should you have had to go through a long form forgiveness process. What does that mean? You got to keep the records of how you spent the money. Not too hard. You should have records of that anyways. Forgiveness is going to be a low bar. The issue is going to be applying for your new PPP, a second PPP. For a second PPP, you have to show a 25% reduction in sales in any one quarter of 2020 versus the same quarter in 2019. The actual legislation requires that you provide that for forgiveness, not for the application for a second PPP. I am encouraging all of you to figure that out at the time of application. Not because your bank may want it. Some will. Some bank's going to ask for it. Okay? But I want you to have your ducks in a row on that, because I don't want you to find that you were only down 23% and don't qualify for a second PPP until you go for forgiveness. Okay? And you find out that this is a loan. I don't want you with another loan. So have that ready now. What else do you need to have ready? All the same stuff you had for your first PPP. The only difference is some of you have really actually most of you that are going to qualify for another PPP haven't. But there are some of you whose payroll has increased this year, and you still qualify for another PPP. So you can use either 2019 for your payroll figures for your PPP, or you can use the previous 12 months, whichever gets you a bigger PPP. So you should take a quick glance at it if your payroll has gone up. And I know a few of you that has been the case, and you'd still be able to show the 25% reduction for a quarter. So if you can do that, if your payroll has gone up, even if you used PPP funds for some of that payroll, that is okay. It is based on actual payroll. And if your payroll has gone up, that's okay. Most of you on the year will not have that case. So you are better off using 2019's numbers. And don't worry about that being more than what you're spending on payroll now, because you still will have a longer period to use your second PPP. You can use it up to 24 weeks to exhaust those funds. Plus, there are more acceptable uses of how you spend that money. So it will be fine. Spending that money will not be a problem. Okay? If anyone thinks they'll have a problem spending their second PPP, you call me and I will help you through it. You email me and I'll help you through it. It is going to be, we're going to get you all through it. Okay? We're going to make sure that that works out just fine. Don't you worry about it. The next question in line is about the $10,000 grant, the EIDL grant. So the EIDL grant, okay, again, I'm waiting for full guidance from the SBA, but under the legislation, the SBA is supposed to chase you down to fulfill the $10,000 grant. One, if you were entitled to it and you didn't get any of it in the first round because either the funds had exhausted, or you didn't take it, or they didn't give you the full 10 grand. They only gave you 6 grand. They are supposed to contact you to send you the additional 4 grand in that example. Hey, Kelly, great to have you here. Absolutely, Rose. There is no reason at all you should be applying for forgiveness for the first PPP. Your primary job right now should be getting a second PPP. You can apply for forgiveness at any time on the first, but you want the new forgiveness application to be out before that happens, okay? Because the new forgiveness application is certifying, holding up your hand, basically. It's going to a one-page. The legislation requires a one-page form for any loans under $150,000, and it will be a new simplified. Dana, that is correct. It has to be an actual quarter. The legislation required it to be an actual quarter, not any 3 months you choose, not any 3-month block. It has to be a calendar quarter. Okay? You do not have to be forgiven to get a second one. Okay? You could be doing both applications simultaneously. You have to keep in mind, even when you do the streamlined application. The streamlined application, they are going to track. They are supposed. Kitty. So I'm jumping around here. So give me a second. With the new streamlined application for forgiveness, okay, you do this to your bank. Yes, you sign a form that says I used all my money correctly. And you have to say how many jobs you retained. Okay, it doesn't have to equal the jobs you had before, but it is a political count. Basically, they're trying to say how many jobs did the PPP save. So you can put a number there. It doesn't have to have. That is a statistical reference, a statistical government reference. But when you do that and you submit that application for forgiveness to your bank, it's not instantly forgiven. That has to go out. Your bank sends it, says, "Yep, Jennifer held up her hand and said, yep, I used my money correctly. I signed this form that says I used my money correctly, and we think she used it correctly because she said she did." They send that to the SBA. The SBA still has to actually give it forgiveness. So that could take this is government, so that could still take a month for you to actually get forgiveness. As far as the forgiveness form, it is jobs that you retained because of the PPP. We will step through. Do not worry about the forgiveness application at this point. Do not worry about. I can't stress enough. Do not, if your loan is under $150,000, if your original PPP is under $150,000, do not stress about any of it right now. We will have a whole night, and I will tell you in advance. Tonight's the night we're going to go over the PPP forgiveness application. Okay? Don't worry about any of it. We will step right through it right here one night at more 8 than ish. Soon as I have it. Soon as I have it. But it doesn't exist yet. I expect it to exist very soon. It only exists in legislation. Okay, and I am quoting you what the legislation actually says because I'm one of those boring geeks that reads it. Okay? So do not worry about that. But do worry about getting your ducks in a row for your second PPP because I want you to be first in line. Chill like a cucumber, Kelly. That's it. Stress-free. You worry about nothing. You worry about nothing. I got you, Marianne. Don't worry. But I want you to be first in line when the window opens to get your second PPP. So that's where I want you to have your ducks in a row. You're going to need all the stuff, okay, that you needed for your first PPP application. That is 2019 payroll or the previous 12 months, okay? So you can get out all the paperwork you had for your first one because you're going to need it for your second. The only other thing you are going to need is you are going to need a quarter in 2020 that is less by 25% than your sales in 2019. So that is super important. Even though your bank may not require that at the time of application, okay, because it's actually under the legislation not required until you apply for forgiveness for your second PPP, I want you to make sure you've done the math because I don't want somebody calling me and saying, oh my God, Neil, what do I do? I didn't calculate this before and I'm only down 23%. Because if you're only down 23%, you now have a loan from the government, not a forgivable PPP. So I don't want you in that position. So do the math ahead of time, even if your bank is not requiring it. You can't, hypothetically, if the window for a second PPP opens this week, you cannot use the fourth quarter as your down quarter, okay, as your 25% down quarter until January. The fourth quarter has to be completely over for you to be able to use that. You're not allowed to use it without the quarter being over. For most people, it will be the second quarter. For most of you, it will be the second quarter. And just have those ducks in the row. Do the math. If you need help doing the math, email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, and I will help you do the math. I just don't want you to end out with a loan, okay, because this is going to be fast and furious, and I want you to be at the top of the line to get a second PPP. You need it. I want to make sure that all of you get to the other side, okay, every single one of you. So make sure you have that. And just do the math. Just do the math. This is not a time to skip it. As far as the advance, Kitty, the idle advance, and if you've already paid it back, which I know some of you have, because that's what we were following the rules as they existed then. They are supposed to track you down for that to get that back to you. Okay? If you did not get the idle advance, they are supposed to track that down to you. Okay? If you only got a partial idle advance, they are supposed to track you down. That is all supposed to happen, okay? And they have an additional 30 days to accomplish that, or to create a mechanism for you to request it. So, but I will keep you posted on that. Technically, all of the timelines are from when the legislation is signed, although everything is expected to be accelerated because most of the government agencies, most of the people that I've talked to behind the scenes at the SBA and Treasury have been preparing for this since the legislation passed the House and the Senate. Okay, so before it even went to the president's desk, they started preparing at the point it passed the House and the Senate, because it was never really a question on that side until the president made it a question of whether he was going to sign it or not. So they started working on it. That is why. Yes, Kelly, you are comparing gross sales for any one quarter in 2020 to the exact same quarter in 2019 when you are looking for that reduction in sales. So that is what you are doing, and that is what you are comparing. And it can be any quarter. And the only caveat is the fourth quarter has to finish for you to be able to use the fourth quarter. Okay? They thought they'd be already issuing PPPs by now. So that is good. Okay. I also expect the stimulus checks to go out to families soon, which will be good for business. Okay. I expect those to start coming to families soon, even though the media is like, when is it coming? And nobody's told anybody. The government was getting ready for that beforehand. So they all have to be issued under the legislation, regardless of when the legislation was signed. Those have to be issued by January 15th. Okay? Because, I don't know, there's some change of office 5 days later and somebody wanted credit for it. So they all have to be issued by January 15th. But it's expected to be much, much faster than that money coming out. The House, some of you I'm sure have heard already, passed a legislation tonight to raise those $600 checks that families are going to be getting to $2,000 per adult. And the Senate is going to be taking that up tomorrow. It's actually gotten some outspoken Republican support today. While there's a lot of people against it, it's unlikely to pass tomorrow, because in the vote that the Senate is going to have tomorrow, any one senator can bring up a bill, and any one senator can object to it. And if they object to it, it kills it. Okay? But it is expected to be brought up for a vote and to see if they can get the 60 votes needed. Democrats are on board, but actually some big Republicans have gotten on board with this. Marco Rubio is on board with the $2,000 now. I'm not advocating government debt, but right now, with the state of the economy and the fragileness of things, there is no such thing as them doing too much, okay? So I would rather see them send out too much right now and truly stimulate the economy than I would have them send too little. So, and there's a lot of people really hurting, so I'd like to keep that going. Hey, Kristen and Patty, great to have you here. So that is going there. The other part of this, and you've already, and states are already doing that, it's gotten a lot of ink in the media, is that unemployment benefits expiring. And they did expire because of the way the unemployment week works and everything, and he didn't sign the bill till Sunday night. But many states are saying that they will continue on, and people will not lose a week's worth of benefits. It's likely to be the case. It is possibly, it is unlikely that they will get the extra money. So one of the things that was provided in this bill was an extra $300 a week, like the extra $600 in the beginning. And I've had several of you, hang on a second, I got to take a sip. I've had several of you concerned, oh, here we go again. Now they're giving an extra $300, everybody's going to want to stay on unemployment. And I've even had a few of you with COVID cases saying, oh, my employees are saying, oh, I got to stay home for COVID because I could have been infected, and I'll apply for unemployment. Now, unemployment is, as part of this bill, okay, the Congress required the states to go after people and for being offered return to work. Okay, if their employers are offering return to work, this bill, if the states take the money from the federal government that is provided for unemployment in this bill, they have to go after people, okay, for return to work, and they have to work with what employers are telling them about that and go after people and recoup the money. They are actually required to do that under this bill. So it is very clear in the wording. I've read the... It is not ambiguous, and the states know that that's their responsibility as part of this, so that they don't see a surge in people just wanting an extra $300 and trying to get out of work. So that is a big thing that is part of this bill. Included in the original bill, although it is a standard part of unemployment practice in normal times. States have started going after people, but it's few and far between. But under this new legislation, where they are explicitly required to do it, if they take the federal money, which all the states are going to take the federal money, let's be real about it. So this is a good thing. Plus the extra $300 for those that need it. That are really unemployed. There is so much unemployment right now. Those that really need it, that is good, because that's going to be good for your stores, because that's giving people money to spend. That's giving them cushion. That's giving them breathing room. That is going to give people breathing room to continue to spend money with your business. Okay, so don't look at this extra $300 as a bad thing, because it really is a oh, that's great. That's great. Oh, that's awesome, ladies. But they are, so don't worry about that, quite honestly. So don't worry about it, because it is a net positive. It is money into the economy. Money into the economy means money into your stores. Okay, it ultimately does. That is okay. You didn't have to swear tonight, Julie, but that's okay. It's okay. It's all good, Julie. It's all good. We know Facebook just typed what you were thinking. All right, Dana, congratulations. I'm glad that second quarter qualifies for you. Okay? And again, that's why it's so important to figure this out now. Okay? Because I want you to be in line when the window opens for second PPP. I've already talked to Enterprise Bank. I've already, they're putting everything together. They're talking to their contacts at the SBA. And we're getting it all done. So I will have their cheat sheet for you as soon as they get it to me, or get me a draft of it. I will have that available to you. We were already talking last. I'm communicating with everybody to make sure that I am giving you the best information that I have at any given moment. I'm feeling, but ultimately I want to make sure you, yes, I'm talking to you, are in line for it and get it, because I want you to be, this helps recapitalize many of your businesses that have been hurting. I mean, you've been hurt by a virus that you didn't create. The economic wreckage that was created by this pandemic was not of your doing. And the help is there for you. It is okay to have help. Nobody does this alone. Nobody is getting through this alone. You're not alone. Where do I get these sayings? You are not alone. I'm just saying. I love this quote. Oh, I love Charlie. He is awesome. He's awesome. He's the man. He is the man. Here's a quote for you guys. An architect imagines what if. A builder figures out how to. Great structures emerge only when the two work well together. An architect imagines what if. A builder figures out how to. Great structures emerge when the two work well together. Da, 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 da. I'm going to do that. I've talked so many numbers tonight. I'm going to do that another night. My peanut gallery has something else that I want to cover, and I will cover that again. I'll work that in tomorrow night because I've tossed so many numbers at you tonight. But I do want to cover this week. I will cover probably tomorrow night. I will cover it again. I've talked about it before. The COVID, what you can collect for your employees, how you can pay your employees if they're out with COVID and get reimbursed for it. So I will cover that. You know, one of the great things as we close out 2020 has been the affiliates of NARTS. We are so blessed as an industry to have amazing affiliate partners who supply us with such valuable services like software, like marketing, like clothing, like sunglasses, like store supplies, any number of things. Those services are available to us all the time, good times, bad. But the NARTS affiliates have stepped up so much during this pandemic. As we close out 2020 and introduce you to ones that you may not know. All of them are available at narts.org, in the supplier section, in the members only section, supplier section. You can find them all. You can find detailed things. But let's talk about some of them tonight. First up, I have Charity Shoes and Clothing. Makes wearable used shoes and clothing affordable to people in third world countries. They've processed over 100 million pairs of shoes or garments since 1994. Their company helps the environment by developing markets for items that would otherwise end out in landfills. So Charity Shoes and Clothing takes in shoes and things from resale stores. They're liquidators and recyclers. They are out of Dallas, Texas. Alma Hills at Charity Shoes. A great NARTS affiliate. Salvage Traders specializes in designer clothing, accessories, bed bath, and tennis shoes. They sell pallets in bulk and are currently distributing to many thrift and consignment stores across the country. They are looking for new options. You can reach Carl Jones of Salvage Traders, Carl at salvagetraders.net. Lepre. Formerly Snob Swap, Lepre is an online platform where the best designer consignment stores are accessible to online shoppers. Lepre provides e-commerce solutions to quickly add an additional stream of revenue for our in-store partners. Featured in Bazaar Magazine, InStyle, Refinery 29, and Oprah Magazine. No way! Apply to being a partner. Elise is awesome. Elise Wang. You got to check them out if you have not checked out Lepre. Go to the narts.org supplier guide and check them out. You can get a direct link there, lepre.com. Maybe you've thought of adding a franchise to your portfolio of stores as you expand out of this pandemic, as you grow your way out. NTY Franchise Company is a national franchisor with 5 brands that they sell and support in the resale industry, including Clothes Mentor, NTY Clothing Exchange, NTY Kids, New Uses, and Device Pit Stop. They've been franchising since 2007, and as of the end of 2014, have over 150 stores open and 70 stores are sold. So that's over almost 250 stores and growing. They have stores located in over 30 states. Call for more information or visit the websites for more if you thought about becoming part of a franchise. Lastly tonight, the most Angie Hulus of AngieK.com. The most valuable lesson I learned while owning a consignment store was to create and gather resources that made my life and my employees' lives easier. At AngieK.com, I'm continually developing innovative and ready-to-go products you can download and immediately use to successfully run your store. Making it easier for you to run your business by providing quality and accurate information is my top goal, and these materials will be a game changer for you. So our friend Angie Hulus at AngieK.com, providing you with business resources, marketing services. She is all that, okay? She is amazing! These are the Narts affiliates. These are vendors to the resale industry that are absolutely amazing. If you're not in the resale industry, there are many of these that cross industries, okay? But these are amazing resource partners. You can see all about them at narts.org on the supplier section. Absolutely. Oh, Joanne and Julie are big Angie K fans. Big Angie K. She is amazing. She is amazing. And she's a good friend, but she's an amazing person. I'm friends with because I love what they do for this industry. And not everyone fits every business 100%, but if there's services you can use, take advantage of it. They want to help you grow your way out of this pandemic. Grow your business and grow your way out of this pandemic. They are amazing suppliers. I can't say enough about them, each and every one of them. And they're all available on the Narts website, narts.org. When you go to narts.org/resalestrong, you see everything that I talk about here, including all the files I referenced. They're all there at narts.org/resalestrong, including a direct link to these videos on the YouTube channel You're Not Alone Running This Store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you know when a new one drops. They're also easily organized so you can share them with everybody you know in business so we can help everybody get to the other side of this. I want everybody, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, I don't care what industry they're in. I want to help them along. I want everybody to get to the other side. Absolutely. I am here nightly at more 8 than ish Eastern, live in the Narts private Facebook group. Live in the Narts private Facebook group is where you find me nightly at more 8 than ish. But if you or anybody you know in business has a question, you just email me, Neil, N-E-I-L at ECIstores.com, N-E-I-L at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night. This is how we get our night on. Lin-Manuel Miranda, who we're less than 6 degrees of separation from. He still has no clue who we are, but hey, we're less than 6 degrees of separation from them. That's a start. If you were not here at the top of the program, tonight we are on page 54. Good morning. Sometimes staying under the covers seems like the best option. I feel you, but come on, let's go see what's out there. Our good night tonight. And there's your comfy bed, right where you left it. You earned this. Good rest. Good night. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do a New Year's Eve Zoom bash where we all dress up. Yes, you dress up. You don't get into your sweatpants. You have to get out of sweatpants. You have to get dressed up. One of our employees tonight was said to me, some other people, she found this dress that she is just in love with at our store that she wants her boyfriend to take her out in. I said, well, send him a picture of this dress and say, don't you think I'd look great in this dress? I said, don't send him a picture of you in the dress. Be there with you. I'm telling you, that's where I will be. But until then, know that I'll be back here tomorrow night at more 8th than ish. And know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes you, I'm talking to you. You're not alone running this store. It's time for dessert, everybody. Have a great night.